So, are you stressed yet? I think we all are feeling a lot of stress right now. Why? Because it's Christmas. The holidays, for some reason, bring so much stress to so many people. And don't think you're alone. I'm right there with you. Yes, stress. So how do we combat the stress? We still have to have Christmas. It's not going to go anywhere. We all want to see our families. We really, really do. We want to buy gifts. We want to be perfect. We want to do as much as we can for everybody in this short time, this one day. So how do I not feel stressed during this time? How do I get my kids what they want when I have no money? Let's talk about that for a second. A lot of us don't have the cash right now to be buying everything we want. And a lot of us, if we remember when we were kids, we usually got one gift. Really, we all know it is the thought of getting one gift. When we get a whole pile of them, we almost feel overwhelmed. But if we get one gift, one thought-filled gift, it really strikes us no matter what age. And it's not the amount that was spent on it either. If your child is materialistic, it might be. Maybe this is the year to teach them not be. Oh, but Akira, I still feel guilty when I can't get them everything they want. But you didn't have everything you wanted as a child, and you turned out great. Look at you. You're doing really good. You know, I was driving home today after dropping my son off at the airport, being treated rudely and still being polite, feeling the stress and the pain of the holidays. And I stopped and thought, but the holidays aren't yet. Look around you, look outside. Aren't you just grateful to be alive today? So I took a page from my own book and I said, yeah. Thank you. I may have a lot of aches and pains today, but I'm alive. Thank you. And then I started to look around me. Now I'm located in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. So it's very cold here right now. Minus 19 degrees Celsius. And there is hoarfrost all over the trees. The sun is shining brilliantly. The sky, clear blue. And I thought to myself, how can I not be grateful? I'm alive. Are you really going to let the stress that's running over you take away from the gratitude of being alive? A lot of us take our lives for granted. We really do. We take the fact that we're breathing, that we're focusing, that we're able to see for granted. Never take it for granted. It doesn't matter what you believe in or if you believe in nothing. If you're an atheist and all you need to thank is you, then thank yourself. Gratitude brings peace of mind. It brings humility. It helps us remember that we're not living in linear time. Because there I went again this morning, living in linear time. I'm all worried about a day that is still days away. When really so much could happen. I could die in that time. And I know we don't like to think about things like that, but we all know it's true. Life is precious and fleeting. So pause. And what are you grateful for today? What brings you peace and beauty today? No, it's not going to wipe out the stress. This is all about balance. It's not about putting in you a fantastic mood. It's about balancing your mood. Your stress will still be there, yes. Because Christmas is still coming, yes. And we still believe that time is linear. So we have to work with ourselves, not against ourselves. Peace of mind. Balance. So, for those of you who have to cook turkey dinner, let's talk about that for a moment. A lot of us are raised that everything has to be perfect. What does that mean? Well, I believe it means to find the least amount of stress for you. A lot of us want the good china and all the dishes and the fixings. But truth be told, if one person's doing it, that is a lot of work. If you are a woman who needs to be in control of a kitchen, or a man who needs to be in control of his kitchen, you need to remember something. You're asking for a whole world of stress on purpose. Do you really need it that day? Oh, well, I find it easier to do what I need to do unless I don't want people in my kitchen. Why? Because you're already feeling stressed. So how can you lessen the stress? Yes, ask everybody to bring a dish. But Akira, all my relatives travel. Nobody can bring dishes, so I have to make it all. I have to make it all. It's my job. Okay. If people aren't able to bring a dish, really, honestly, if you cook the main meal, you should only be making turkey and potatoes. Everything else should be brought by all of your other guests. And trust me, you're not imposing. If we're not the ones cooking, we really appreciate that you're doing it for us. We really do. But if you have to cook everything, then here's a rule of thumb. Cook your turkey. Cook your potatoes. But only make 1 vegetable and 1 salad and 2 desserts. You do not need the whole spread. Oh, but my family likes pierogies and cabbage rolls. You have to have it all. If that is true, then you need to focus on making it least stressful for you. And next year, you need to focus on making those items and freezing them so that you're not swamped that day. Because on top of that, we still have all the dishes. And I will tell you, I've told many clients to switch to paper plates. Oh, you can't use paper plates on Christmas. Yes, you can. People should not be looking at what you're serving them on. We are there for each other, not for the good china. We are there to visit, not to give the host or hostess extra work. You need to remember what Christmas is all about. And you know, that alone brings so much stress. So rule of thumb is, if you can arrange it, you do the turkey, you do the potatoes, if you're the host. Have everybody else bring something. Use paper plates and even plastic cups. Why? Because your cleanup now consists of 2 things. 2. Whole different stress, because you still have a house to clean if your house has been filled. And everybody can take back their dishes. You don't have to wash everybody's dishes for them to send home. Send home dirty dishes. It is not your job. The women should not separate into the kitchen and the men in the other room. We are in the year 2010, people. We are family. We want to talk to everybody. And it's time that that changes. We should all be able to sit down in a room, and it should not be the women cleaning up. And in some households, it's the women that cook and the men that clean up. And if that works for you, then by all means do it. But I'm speaking to those of you who are feeling the stress. Now, what about going to relatives where you know you're not welcome? Where you know you're not really liked, even if it's your family. What if you're going to a family event where you don't like your relatives? Here's a rule of thumb on that. If we can only treat people with the kindness of strangers, that's what you do. Christmas is not a time for forgiveness. People say it is, but when we have past and anger and sadness related to our families, Christmas is one of the hardest times to suddenly forgive. It bubbles up old memories and old pain. So you have to think of it this way. When you walk up to a person on the street, you're right away kind to them. When somebody serves you in a store, you're kind. Use that same kindness towards your family. It works. It is a fake it till you make it kind of thing, but it works. Plus, it makes everybody feel good. Plus, it makes you feel more comfortable. Why? Because you don't have to deal with the past issues. Because it's not the time nor the place to be dealing with the past. It's a family event. None of us are victims, even though sometimes we feel victimized. We're not victims. And this is not the time to expect apologies or think we deserve them when the whole family's together. Okay, so what if it's not your family and it's the family of your mate, your husband, wife? Again, kindness of strangers. You're there with the person who loves you. They love you so much, and you're there to support them. So love their family because they love their family. And that goes for you parents too who don't like your daughter or husband's spouse. Love them because they love them. Oh, but I don't like them very much. You don't have to like them. And you can still love them. It's respect, people. I just feel so unwanted though when I go to my family. I just don't like it. For some reason, a lot of us feel awkward going to our family's houses. Take a deep breath. It's one day. It's hours. But it's hours I can never get back. Don't be so hard on yourself. It's a few hours that you might actually enjoy. And if you don't feel like talking, don't. But don't sit in a sulk. There's no need. This day is going to be great like every other day. You just have to be thankful for it throughout the day. And it's not being wingy. Don't be weird. Just in your head, say, thank you so much for this turkey. Thank you so much for giving me a warm house to be with. Thank you so much for family. Because remember, some people out there don't have any family left. Some people do spend Christmas alone. Oh, well, Akira, I think that would be easier. Do you really wish that? And do you really want to be alone on Christmas? Because I think a lot of us don't. For as much complaining as we might do, I think the majority of us love Christmas. We love the fact that it's the start of a new thing. We love the fact that it's respected as a time for family. And regardless of your belief system, all of us feel that it has a special significance. Whether you believe it is Yule, Christmas, Hanukkah, it's a time for family. No matter what your family might look like. Even if your family consists, honestly, only of you, you are connected to all of us. And therefore, you're never alone. And that's something you need to remember when you're sitting on the couch feeling beaten because you feel nobody really wants you there. You're not alone. So as you go through your hustle and bustle of Christmas, remember, you can do this. You're allowed to feel the stress. Just remember to balance it. Balance it with being grateful that you know you have your feet, your hands, your eyes, your smell, your taste. Balance it with something you know is beautiful and wonderful. Take a look outside and feel the sun. Balance. Remember, it already is perfect. It doesn't have to be made perfect. Everything will be exactly as it's meant to be. Everything will come out in the wash, so to speak. And this holiday will soon come to an end, like it does every year. And we will be sad it's over. Have a wonderful Christmas. I look forward to speaking with you again in the new year. I hope my voice and my ideas bring you a small sense of peace and peace of mind. Take care. Until soon. This is Akira Rain.